Ready, Joshie? One, two, three.
Hello, everybody. My name, my professional name is Joshie Joe Armstead. I am here today celebrating my birthday in the studio because for 60 years did I say 60 years? I was a singer, songwriter, record producer, record owner, and a whole lot of other things. But I am with my friend, Bob Faulkner, at Los Espressos recording studio in Brooklyn, New York. Because of an Englishman who gave me a call and asked if I wanted to record again. Duh. I had to think about that because today, October 8th, 2025, I am celebrating my 80th birthday. So what other place to do it than in the studio? So let me say thank you to everybody in the UK that have listened to my records and liked them. I appreciate that. And a shout out to Lee Jeffries, who has the courage to call and ask if I wanted to re-release some of my music on vinyl. And then he had that idea that I should re-record some of my songs and productions that I did for other people. Duh, well, that took more thought. But here I am. And I do hope that you will enjoy listening to this 80 little old lady. Thank you all. Well, tonight we are doing a Northern Soul favorite. In fact, a movie was done around this song, a song that I happened to write and produce on a group called the Salvadors. And the title is Stick By Me, Baby. I hope you like my rendition, which is the female version. The story behind the Salvadors happened because a very influential disc jockey in Chicago named E. Rodney Jones approached me to produce a group from St. Louis that he said sounded like the Temptations. But they didn't sound like the Temptations. I wrote Stick By Me Baby and recorded it, I think, in 1968. And I thought it was one of my biggest failures. In any case, I am so grateful that you guys loved it. The origin of the song is writing from a male perspective. I wanted him to really, really sort of beg a little bit. His lady not to leave him. He wanted her to stick by him. If she didn't, he might as well lay down and die. Well, oddly enough, I read that E. Rodney Jones never put it on rotation at the radio station that he was the program director, but they did play it in Detroit. So, thankfully, the Northern Soul area, those guys that come over here to the States and look for music that nobody's doing, found the record, and it really was a hit. in the UK. And for that, I am so thankful. I even hope you like the way I'm singing it.
That's beautiful. What year was it a hit in the UK?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure when it was picked up there, but I think I recorded it in 19. Should I be saying throwing these numbers around?
Yeah.
1968.
So was this one of the first records that came out on Giant?
Actually, this was not on my record label. It was on E. Rodney Jones' friend, and his name was Don. I can't remember the last name. It was on Wise World, not my Giant label.
Mm.
It was Rodney called me, and it's like twisting your arm. He's the program director of a radio station. And if I say no, then maybe I might have a problem getting my records played. So, well, of course, I said yes.
So who did it first and who did it second?
It was first done by the Salvadors, and only the Salvadors. It might be somebody else that did it. And
What about you? Did you ever record that song?
I'm going to do it now.
Oh, okay. So you never had a version of it at that time.
I never had a version until 2025.
Oh, this is gonna be amazing. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
I hope so.
Are you excited? Are you excited about this whole box set that's coming out?
I'm very excited. Listen, this is like icing on the cake.
And you're recording these songs on your birthday. It was pretty amazing.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah.
So can we talk about another song?
Yes, we can.
So the other song is I Cried Myself to Sleep.
Yes. I Cry Myself to Sleep. I wrote, co-produced on an artist called Retta Hughes. Again, Retta approached me and asked me if I would write and produce an album for her because she had convinced Bill Cosby to record her and she needed producers. So again, I said, okay, I can do that. So Cry Myself to Sleep was one of the tunes on an album, Retta Hughes, called Relight My Fire. That was released on Tetragrammaton Records, I think, and again in 1968.
The musicianship on that track is incredible. Really, really great playing. Did you choose those musicians?
The musicians were contracted, but my co-producer was Mike Terry. Mike Terry is an arranger and as one of the pit musicians at Motown. We recorded everything in Detroit on that track for that album. So the arrangement and the musicians and all of that was Mike Terry's job. My job was to write the songs and teach the songs to Retta and do the background arrangements.
That's beautiful. Are you still in touch with Retta?
I'm sorry to say Retta Hughes is deceased.
Oh, when did she pass away?
I'm not sure. I can tell you a little story about Retta. The rap artist Russ sampled one of the songs off that album that I wrote. And I did a pretty good job of negotiating some money for that sample. And I was able to send her a nice check. I didn't hear from
that was her.
that.
So that record was sampled while she was still alive.
Yes. I didn't hear from her after that, and then I heard she had passed away, and it had been some time since she had passed away.
Hmm.
So I'm sorry. She had a pretty good career.
It's beautiful. So what? So what was the response? I cried myself to sleep. I mean, what was the response amongst the fans?
I don't think the album did that well.
God, it's such an incredible song. It's such an incredible arrangement.
Yeah, it didn't do that well.
There are so many stories like that, right? And it's
Yeah,
like classic, amazing records that, a lot of times it has nothing to do with the music. A lot of times it has to do with the setup, the management, the radio promoter, the marketing people at the label, whether they do their job or don't do their job.
absolutely. And I think Cosby Enterprises and his partners weren't that interested in the label, and it soon dissolved.
So you think it was just kind of like a celebrity label? They weren't that serious about the business.
Maybe so, but it worked in my favor because all of those masters reverted back to me.
Back to you, yeah.
Yes, and I'm all about ownership, people. I do own my music. And I think Lee Jeffries is turning the page right now
Hmm.
through my catalog.
Well, that puts you in the very kind of high company with like Lenny Kravitz and Prince and Herbie Hancock, people who have steadfastly maintained ownership
Yeah.
of their publishing and their masters.
I never got great offers. I did get a good offer, but I didn't think it was good enough. I never got great offers, so I just sat on it. I started singing too. So hopefully you'll like this because back in the day, I was blowing. Oh, whoo, could I blow? Um, but
Well, you were blowing pretty hard tonight, actually.
well, thank you.
I was gonna ask you, what do you think is the secret sauce for your vocal tone and your upper register? Displayed some amazing stuff tonight. My point.
Well, you didn't know when I was blowing. You didn't know me there. But you heard me there. That soprano that is soaring over Diana Ross on Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Working with Bob Dylan or with Roberta Flack.
What did you do with Bob Dylan?
I did George Jackson with Bob Dylan. I wish I had done more, but he was moving fast.
This was in the 60s,
Yeah, the 70s
70s.
or something. I was a starving artist, so I did a lot of work with other artists. I was a contracted studio singer that worked basically with everybody. I did a lot of commercials. And this was after I left. We didn't get into that giant records that I had established with my late husband. So I had to support myself. I even did Broadway. Listen, I was all over the place. Wherever there was a paycheck and they needed a singer, I took the job.
So you were always extraordinarily hardworking. You were always doing something.
I was always doing something, yes. Yeah.
You have any do you have any particular influences coming up when you were young?
Oddly enough, my influences were the guys. Marvin Gaye, Jimmy Reed.
Hmm? I heard some Marvin Gaye stuff tonight.
You did?
I did. I definitely did. There were some vibes in there that definitely felt like Marvin Gaye.
Oh, wow. I loved Marvin. And of course, the ladies, the top of the list, you know, all R&B singers most of us anyway, revered the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. But that's about it. I love the guys and I listen to the guys more. And I have to say this in terms of my vocals right now, it's in between my bottom register, which I'm having trouble with. But my upper register, that soprano, is pristine. So maybe I need to write something for myself that's up there that's not quite operatic. But my daughter and I were trained in opera.
Mm. Yeah, you can hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, the targeting of your high notes is extraordinary. Amazing.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yay!
Thank you so much,
We
Joshie.
did this!
We did this.